Hello, travelers. This is going to be your Pisces full moon reading. This full moon is occurring today. I was hoping to get the reading up yesterday, but I'm behind and everything. And if you are waiting on a reading from me, look for an email here very soon. I'm going to have to give it to you tomorrow. Conduct them tomorrow, not today. I don't know if you can hear in the background the mowers that are going outside. Everybody's out mowing their grass because it's rained every day for 2 weeks straight, and the mosquitoes are awful. So I've got to get out there and get mine done too. So I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibila, and we will, well, depending on what the reading is about, will determine what oracle card I'm going to use. Okay. I have just completed the 12 individual readings over on the website. If you're interested in seeing them, you don't have to purchase a membership. You can click on the little eye that's going to go over, that's going to show up here in this corner. And you can purchase the 3-day video pass and view the readings for 72 hours. I would suggest if you do this, that you look at your moon, your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Okay, that way, if one story doesn't resonate, there may be another. Let's see. School is going okay. I'm behind in my schoolwork, and I'm pretty much behind on everything. But it is what it is, right? So, I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. I'm just going to turn the camera around and we're just going to lay the cards, okay? This is a general reading. It is not for any specific sign. It is not really for any specific time frame, but we are going to look at, full moons are a time of endings, but also a time of beginnings. This is the harvest moon, by the way, so we're heading into the fall very, very soon. And so we're just going to look at the energy surrounding this particular full moon, okay? So let's turn it around. I'm going to do another rifle. Oh, well. The Ace of Pentacles flew out. And another shuffle. So there's some changing energies. I don't know if you can see the cards are kind of like wanting to fly all over the place. So there's something changing here. And of course, it's going to depend on your story and what you've got going on in your life. All right. So our first card is the Ace of Pentacles. Our next card, well, actually, this is going to be a mini reading. Okay. So this is what is happening at the moment. All right. And these are the possible energies coming in with this Pisces full moon. What we want to do now is look at the foundation. What is the foundation of this? It is the 10 of Cups. Not bad. What is the energy? Oh no, that's not right. We're doing a 9-card reading. There we go. I'm confused. And by the way, that was for the elementals. Those will be posted up within the next couple of days, okay? So we start out with the 10 of Pentacles. This will be a 9-card reading. And the 10 of Cups. What is the next card? The Page of Wands. So, I don't know. That looks pretty good, does it not? Next row. The 7 of Swords. Don't let that card freak you out. It has a myriad of meanings. The Hermit. Next card. Oh, well. And the Hanged Man. Well, well, well. Last row. The Ace of Swords. So we have 2 yeses here. Okay. The Lovers. 2 representations of Mercury. Last card. The 4 of Swords. Well, isn't that something? So what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards. That's interesting. A pentacle, a cup, and a wand at the top. And 3 swords. Now, if you are new to my channel or new to my style of reading, the major arcana cards hold more sway. So one card, major arcana card, holds more sway than all of these pip cards put together. But we have 3 of them. So this is indicative of some type of spiritual lesson that is trying to formulate or complete. We shall see. What is the energy over the entire reading? Well, it is the 8 of Wands. Rapid movement. I will say I have these subtle representations of the moon here, particularly here with the Hanged Man, whose ruler, who rules Neptune, rules the moon. I think that's right. Well, it kind of rules both of them. It's co-ruler, so to speak. But it is indicative of the moon. We know that when the moon is full, we can see a lot clearer than we can see when it is a new moon. Okay? But even still, the moon can bring up psychological issues. It can bring up emotions. It can bring up fears. We don't see as clearly, even by the full moon, as we do by the light of the sun. And right in the center, I have the Hermit. It is a 9. 9s represent a focus on completion, okay, of events. In other words, it's always a good idea before you're about to complete something to kind of stop, look it over, recheck it, rework it. We are in a Mercury retrograde, so I do advise that you do that. Here, the Hermit also represents the sign of Virgo. So this is a mind, body, spirit connection here. But it is always good before you move on to another project or whatever to kind of stop and look back over what has come before. So the Hermit represents the idea of meditation, stillness, contemplation. He is not simply a scholar. He is also a teacher. So this is about looking over things and learning the lessons that have come before, but then also having the ability to share that knowledge with other people, the teacher and the scholar. He is holding in his lantern the star, okay? And we know that as well, stars also illuminate things for us, not as clearly as the sun, but that can represent hopes, dreams, and aspirations. He's leaning on his staff for support. This card can sometimes be an indication of maybe you might be feeling a bit isolated or feelings of loneliness. But sometimes we need to place ourselves in a situation in which we remove ourselves from all of this that's going on around us so that we can gather some peace, some quiet, gather our thoughts, think about things, and relax ourselves, okay? Now, I don't have any repeater numbers save for the 2 Pentacles. 2 Pentacles speak to a commitment, a wedding, or an engagement. Now, if you're not interested in getting married or you're already married and you're not renewing your vows, a marriage can be simply a contract. So this could be some kind of business contract or some type of contract for signing a house or buying a car or some new project that you may be working on. Maybe you yourself might be looking to bring in someone who can help you, okay, and hire them out. So it's not always, it simply speaks to a commitment, a proposal, a marriage, or an engagement, all right? Now, across the top, I have this Ace of Pentacles. Past, present, future interplay of the cards. The Pentacles are about financial opportunities, yes, and all aces represent simply the opportunity. It doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. But the Pentacles also represent the idea of doing something. It represents the 3rd dimensional plane. We work in order to accrue things. cars, clothes, houses, food, okay? So this is actually putting in the sweat equity. It appears that this is taking a new path. An opportunity will be or was presented to you. Now, the Ten of Cups is an interesting card because it is a very lucky card in the Rider-Waite deck. And basically, it speaks about a focus on family celebrations and events and harmony. That your home is going to really be like your sanctuary for you. And that you should focus more on the events that are happening around your home. It is an indication of everybody having everything that they want. Life is good. We see the children dancing around, the couple. There we see their house, the green verdant property they own with the water running through it. And then we have the rainbow in the sky, the promise, okay? But I always like to caution people about the Ten of Cups as well, because sometimes the rainbow is an illusion. And so sometimes this card will show up when it's asking us to rethink what family really means, or rethink what family harmony and relationships really mean. Some people have no family per se. Maybe they were foster children and they had no one to raise them. And so family is not always through blood ties. It is by the people who you gather around you to help support you. We also see the Page of Wands. Now, all pages represent for me are news and messages. We're not necessarily talking about a person here. But it is some kind of message or news that speaks about embarking on a new journey or embarking on a new endeavor. Be this a spiritual endeavor, taking a trip. It could even be the promise of new love coming in for you. This is coming up here. But then we run into the Seven of Swords. Now, most tarot card readers will only interpret this card as being about lies and deceptions. That is one of the many meanings. This card has a meaning of a possible house move, a surprising, an unexpected event. If you've lost something, you're going to find it. It's going to turn up in the most unlikely place. It speaks about the possibility of postponements, delays, and arguments, things just not going right. It talks about the idea of you or other people behaving in ways that make you feel uncomfortable, but the ends justify the means. It can speak to the idea of not paying close attention, rushing around. And if you're rushing around, you're not thinking clearly, then this is why things may not be going well. Arguments, tension, misunderstandings, all of this is encompassed in the Seven of Swords. I know a lot of people don't know that, but it's got a lot of meanings. Here we find the Hermit. And then on the backside of the Hermit, we have the Hanged Man. Now, even though these are two different energies, in reality, in a sense, they feel as though they are the same, because what we are talking about is a suspension of events. And both of these characters in these cards have placed themselves in this position. The Hanged Man can be an indication of needing to stop so that you can see something from a higher perspective. Sometimes it is only when we stop and take a step back that we can really see everything clearly. Okay? We come over to the Ace of Swords. This is the most powerful ace of all of the aces in the deck. And when this card shows up, it says you can be assured that something is about to change. We see it here again. Okay? It is about logic, clear thinking, the ability to formulate plans, but it can also mean the excessive degree of everything. This could be worry and anxiety. Again, coming across with this message to meditate. And what is happening is there's a choice that is coming up that needs to be made. This is the Lovers. The Lovers can indicate a soulmate relationship, but the soulmate relationship can be one of the most difficult relationships you will ever have, because you are each here to teach each other something and resolve karma from a past life. So I have seen this card show up when it says that two people just are not compatible. Okay? It can speak about the idea really of the importance of making choices and decisions, weighing up all of the facts, looking at all of the circumstances, and then making a choice or a decision. And understanding that you want to take care in making that decision because it will have far-reaching consequences. There's a thorny situation here, and I don't quite know what it is, and I'm getting that from here. Even though it has a possibility to heal things, this is a thorny situation. And then we come again to the Four of Swords. Again, this energy of rest, meditation, and taking yourself out of a situation or out of a place or away from an environment. That person is in effigy. This is what I like to call the ghost card. So you're talking to somebody, you've been having regular conversations with them, and boom, you don't hear from them. They ghost on you. Okay? And then you're left to kind of wonder what is happening. Well, maybe they ghosted because they got some things they got to think about. Or maybe they ghosted because there's something painful that either they're trying to avoid or they want to do. That's an effigy. It's not even a real person. They are still ready to pick up their ace and use it in whatever way that they need to use it. Now, the Eight of Wands is known as the arrows of love, okay? But basically, this card has an association with fast movement. It is an 8, so it says that if a situation has been stagnant, the 8 comes along to start movement. 8s are positive numbers. They are karmic numbers. They speak to good things happening. And so I've seen this card show up when it talks about travel in connection, perhaps with business or career. But it could just be traveling. Usually it's taking an airplane, going someplace. But we don't really know what these arrows are aimed at, these wands. They're simply flying through the air. So to me, the card always indicates an event, some movement, something happening, and it's happening quite quickly at high speed. So when this card shows up, it says, hang on, because things are going to be moving quite quickly. Now, if I had to pick a row, it would be this one. Because we get some news. And I'm not exactly sure what this is talking about. Is it a delay? Is it a postponement? Is it some kind of news where you found out, somebody's tricked you in some way or lied to you or some way? This, that, or the other? I'm not quite sure. In this, we go from the 7 to the 4, which leaves me 3 swords. Those 3 swords that are hanging there. In this direction, it says there's news and messages coming in, but you might want to stop for a moment and think and arrive at the correct answer. Some of you may go ahead and do and then find suddenly that there's a delay and a holdup. But that still gives you an opportunity to rest and relax and think a moment. And even this, the doing of something but looking at it from a different perspective so that you can garner whatever knowledge that you need to formulate whatever plans. That's what the swords represent. Thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. Logic. Clear thinking. Now, I can't look at this card because traditionally he represents a person. So what does that leave me? It leaves me the Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 7 of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the 4 of Swords as it relates to the lovers. And looking here, the Ace with the 4 gives me 5 swords. So there again speaks to some kind of change, an up or down situation, maybe a slight setback and or delay, but it can also be an indication of arguments and tension between people. And here we see the 2 people here, we see the family here, and way back there in the background is a group of people seated at a table together. So we shall see. We will start with the Ace of Pentacles to see if it gives us any information next to the Hermit, the Hanged Man, and or the Lovers. Well, several meanings. Isn't that interesting? The Ace of Pentacles with 3 Swords cards, maybe implying that you have taken on more than you can handle. So you are asked to take one step at a time. With the Lovers, it may be indicating that a joint venture will lead to and achieve success. It may be foretelling of a possible long-term commitment, engagement, or marriage. We see it there. With the Ten of Cups, maybe an indication that someone is biting. Hold on. Ace of Pentacles with the Ten of Cups brings a message that an important union could be a major step in your life. It may be the beginning of a long-term positive relationship. With the Lovers and the Ten of Cups, it may be telling of a joint venture or union that brings about prosperity. It is an indication of an engagement and or marriage and wedding plans and or lasting unions. This is a very positive sign. Well, there you have it. Now, let's move to the Ten of Cups to see if the Ten of Cups has anything it wishes to add. It does not. Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords tells me nothing next to these cards. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords tells me nothing. Okay? And then the Four of Swords. Well, next to any ace, it indicates that some long-term plans or goals need to be reassessed and reevaluated before proceeding. It may be telling you that although you may not yet be involved with any long-term plans or considerations, when they do arise, make efforts to check and recheck all aspects before proceeding, as some reevaluations and amendments may be needed. And I feel that this is why these three cards come out. And so this idea of choice, do I join forces with the person? Do I accept this proposal, this commitment, this engagement? Do I marry myself into this situation or not? Do I choose to stay alone? This is what the reading is about. Okay? And I'm going to just take a look to see if I don't necessarily feel that it is someone having second thoughts with the Lovers. It is an indication that genuine love and affection is around you. It tells of the future being discussed and promises given and made. It implies that there is genuine warmth, companionship, and honest conversations. So you are asked to appreciate it and make the most of it. There are promises to be made and kept. Well, now, this can't be true for everybody, can it? So if I had to pick a card, I'm going to choose this one. Why? Because of all the cards here, it has the most meaning, the most interpretations. Okay? There's so many ways this Seven of Swords can go. Excuse me. It's here from the 7 to the Ace is an 8. Finding yourself in a situation that may not be very comfortable. The Eight of Swords always says if you find yourself in that predicament, it's usually of your own making. Okay? So I think that the cards of the Hermit and the Hanged Man are really, really speaking volumes, because it is asking you to stop for a moment and think this through. Okay? Think it through. It's all shiny up here, but then it gets a little bit, and here we have earth and we have water, and that creates mud. It can, right? So let's take a look at the Seven of Swords here. There's our news. A letter. The letter doesn't tell me what it's about. It doesn't tell me where it's coming from. So this could be information that somebody told you. It could be information you read in the paper. It could be something you heard on the radio or you saw on television. And it could be a bill or a notice, an invitation. It could be anything. The La Namica. Well, if the message is not from her, then it is about her. Her motto is, you must die so that I may live. It tells you that there's someone in your midst who has it in for you. They are in your friend. It could be in your circle of acquaintance. So this could be colleagues, friends, and or family. And her goal is to ruin your life. If you have told her any secrets about yourself, she's going to use that to turn around and hurt you. She may even be trying to steal your partner away from you. Now, sometimes this can even be yourself in terms of you being your own worst enemy. But we shall see, okay, what the last card is. Speranza. Now, Speranza it's just hope. It's what it is. It doesn't really indicate anything except hopes and wishes and dreams. It tells you not to give up. It's not the perseverance card, but it's just speaking about hopes. And sometimes hope is all people have. But in looking back at the star here, he is in effect kind of shining the light. He's even on a star in the center over this whole situation, and he's looking back over what has come in the past. Okay? I would say that for some of you, there will be interference from a third party here. What this is about or what the interference is about, I don't know. She can sometimes be an ex-wife or a vengeful old girlfriend that somebody can't get rid of. What's interesting to me is that I don't see any court cards in this save for the message. Okay? This could even be the idea that you end up inviting this person to your engagement party. But what you don't know is that the person has a deep hatred for you. She is difficult to unmask, okay? But she is in your midst. And if she has not attacked, she will be attacking. And I think what she is doing, maybe she got wind of what's happening and she's coming to dash your hopes. I don't necessarily see how that ends here. But just know, and I think on the other hand, this card is saying you're not seeing this clearly. You need to stop and really think about what you are doing. Okay? That's what the cards are saying. Obviously, there's some type of partnership, but there's some deception here between these two cards. The doing what you think you're going to do. That's how that comes across to me. All right? So, let's formulate a question for the Golden Nostradamus. I don't know if this means that person is flying in. Okay? To the event. It's really a strange reading. And I think the idea that we have the Pisces moon and this kind of Neptunian energy over everything, you're not saying things aren't clear. There's something you're not seeing. So if there are any choices or decisions that you need to make over the next 3 days, wait. There's a better time. And you may get the information that you need. Because I've seen this card show up sometimes to say if you've been waiting on news, it's going to be coming in. See? Look, there's news. We're waiting. Hadn't gotten here yet. Okay? So, let's formulate our question. Here is your card. It is the Knight. The arrival of something or someone. The Knight says, this is an interesting little phrase, I know him well, and he loves only you. Pining and aching, no other will do. A wedding is on the horizon, or perhaps an alliance with an important, noble, or powerful person is in the offing. This includes academic diplomas, honors, or newfound freedoms or powers which may arrive. And I think the power, the opportunity, you're going to be granted the opportunity to take a step back for a moment and think this through. Now, I don't have any other information for you. I wish I did. I wish I could give you more information or give you better counsel. But this is a general reading. And so in order to gain any insight into your personal situation requires a personal reading. That's why I tell you can go over to the little eye thing over there and come over to the website. I have several reading packages, and you can also come over and do the 3-day pass for the September readings. And so that's what I have for you. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.